Options. Window with no border. Fly. Nice. Now it's fixed. Nice. Yo, hello everyone. Hello. We are on. Hello everyone, guys. Hello. Nice to see you all of you. Really interesting. Ooh, widescreen. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry if it's night for anyone. Audio is on. This is true. Uh-huh. I hope it will not be that loud.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike.
Oh my.
You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
This is so good.
But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator.
That's one.
It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com.
What I mean, Gmail.
Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Yes, it's the creator of Stanley Parable made this game of games. Creator of Stanley Parable made the game of games of his friend.
Warning.
Oh?
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
The gun is so fun, by the way. Why the gun is so good? Oh! I don't have bullets. I don't know what is
Security
happening.
call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Oh, we have a menu.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
A door. I can't reload. I have a weapon. I
I
can't.
love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh. This is real. Hello.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering a whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature.
Me?
If your body could stop the beam.
Me? What?
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it?
Yeah, let's go.
Would you give
Easy.
yourself?
Light work, no reaction. Let me in.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh, oh. Same room. The door is different. This is a different door. Oh, let's go! I'm ascending. Oh, the labyrinth. Was it possible to
The
complete?
beam causes you to start floating.
It was possible. Yeah.
And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a
The
peaceful
cathedral.
place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
I can't move.
So try walking backwards. Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
No, this is smart. I don't know. This is really smart.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Oh wait, the past was behind her. Why does the future keep changing? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength? confront
It's a short
it.
little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
That one was really cool. Oh no, horror. You're now entering. What? Yeah, I like that one really much. The feature is oh.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Let's go. It's alright.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
This reminds me of Anti-Chamber
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games.
and Superliminal.
He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Unlucky.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Oh! Stop with the text, please. Too much text.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Ah. Live in a boat, taking orders from the captain. The captain is always wrong.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
It's like that one 2012 game named insert title here. It even had the same font. Oh lol. Yeah, like Superliminal, Anti-Chamber, that game, this game, Stanley Parable, Ready Set Go. You know. Oh, door open. For me. Yeah, really interesting. Really cool.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle.
Oh my
Go ahead and see if you can solve it. Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's these games that are like unclear. Like, what is happening?
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Oh. And what do we do?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Can I bunny hop? Can I bunny hop? I can. I needed to check. Oh. Can I bunny hop here? I believe I'm accelerating.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier,
I can.
tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
I'm faster when I'm jumping, by the way. The great and lovely descent. Oh my, a house. Oh my, I'm on a hill. Isaac and his mother lived alone on a small house on a hill.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
What the Sigma?
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
They have a giant underground. This is Isaac's trapdoor. Isaac's basement. Isaac's basement, actually. What? No way, what? Can we not? That's not a horror, please. Don't be... Please, don't be a horror.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Ooh.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we
I
just
agree.
got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
It was crazy. It was insane. I agree, this game is fascinating. This game is astonishing. Do you have any more synonyms? Three dots, second time already, 3 dots, 3 black dots.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Why ceilings are always open? I don't know why, but every single time we see the sky. Ah, because sky is pretty. Listen. You
Here,
better.
Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
I don't see. My bad, my bad. My bad, my bad. We should move chat. My bad. Where is chat? Cool. That's the world of... One second, I'm dying. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? You don't? But how did you get here? The puzzle is the only way. I don't remember it. You have to remember it's so important that we get out of here, we must escape the prison. The end, how to reach the end. Huh? Music down a little bit. How much is a little bit? Huh? Ah. It's just you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can see it in the black space in the... What? Why would I sit in the black space? Pretty peaceful. It may not seem that way at first, but you will come to think so in time eventually. Very good, thank you. Nice. Hope I fixed it. What the Sigma is happening?
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
I didn't get any of the dialogues. What? Like, what? Backrooms?
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
Yeah, 3 dots, 3 black
He
dots.
wants a
on the wall.
destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
How do you know?
We're gonna see it in the work as well. His games are just gonna become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Can I accelerate jumping? I don't know. I'm trying anything. This game is connected to the internet. Oh, as you walk around you can leave notes. What? All notes you see are left by other players. What? 3 dots. Nice room note. Can I leave a note too?
So first off,
These
I'm sure
games
you
feel
can
like a
deduce this,
fever
but
dream,
This game
also
is not
lamp real.
connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
What the
In
Sigma?
retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me.
Hello.
And I cooled off eventually.
Listenable.
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Mm. Oh. What? Why are they're gray now? Ah, I needed to click on them. No, wait, what? Ah. What? Imagine suddenly Pop Mob just sees the one that says hi Pop Mob. I would be so scared if it was true. Yeah, these games feel like a fever dream, yep. I help people because of the internal good feeling. Backrooms! Yeah, that would be really creepy, because I have the account, I have the Steam account, why not? It's possible. Like, they can just get my Steam account. He wrote all of them himself. They are not. What the hell? What the Sigma? This is a note? How to write my own notes? I want to write a note too. He himself made everything. No way. Alone. Painting, what does it mean? Huh? Help, I'm trying to speak. We will all die someday. Spoiler, it doesn't mean anything. Let's go. Spoiled me the whole game. We're all here now. There must be a reason for it though. Terrible secret, he kept it well? What? Which secret? Huh? Oh
At
my.
the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
I'll
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Oh, one person passed. One person made it. What the? How do you leave notes? Yeah, pro gamer probably. Hello. Notes. And the lamp. Are you there? Please say something. I can... Eventually, I just need you to say talk to me, please. Huh? Huh? May, June 2009.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Sure. Uh-huh. It said... Never mind. Huh? Looks like Backrooms? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. He made Backrooms before Backrooms. He is the creator of Backrooms.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
The title was strange. Oh? Ah, what? But I remember. What furniture out to go in the center? Uh-huh. What? On the wall of the room, that's a huge picture. Huh? All of the answers are wrong. All of the answers are wrong. It doesn't matter what I answer. They all are wrong. Yeah, you see? Yep. Oh.
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Let's go. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. Guys, make notes, guys. Right click on this table. You see 3 dots, 3 dots, 3 dots, 3 dots, 3 dots, 3 dots. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn this slightly. Now turn the floor ramp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over the sofa. Touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. I guess be like, yeah. True. The second you step into them.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them.
Bro.
Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working with? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself.
Same room.
Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
But why is it a prison game if the prison is not actually in it? Huh? Huh. I was trying to find the secret. I don't know, secret something. A lamp. And phone, yeah. Yes. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm from after you escaped the prison. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You are me? So you're trapped in the prison too. In this prison too. Yes. I was in the furnace.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
That's where I'm right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know to get out eventually. What it's like to escape? Actually, I'm already forgetting what being in the prison was like. It's strange, but in a way, I kind of miss being in the prison. It feels like being completely still and wildly in the motion. Same thing, at the same time. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I will get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. It actually does change, I don't feel like the same person. Oh, good. That's so nice to hear. Makes me feel really happy. Then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Yeah, I'm the first person. Oh. Oh. That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just talk to me. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? Be here as long as you need. Oh my.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games.
This is so good.
After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
This is so good. Wow, wow, wow.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
It's the same door. The same door.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
No, you. Why the sound played before the door closed? Hello, Clean. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Though I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself. And try
Food.
Food.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using.
It's behind me. Are you kidding me? Stop switching places, you little Coda, whoever made the game. Where am I? Where is me? Me. useful. Though I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy. What the? Don't worry about me. Uh-huh. This little one. Oh, don't worry. Now we'll be through this mess in no time. You wish there was more? Why don't I finish up here? In the meantime, could you please clear the table? I did it. Bedroom. Make a bed. The bed was in the trailer. Mirror has no reflection. While you're in there, why don't you straighten the rug a bit? Well. While working, I feel kind of calm and that rests in the pit of my rib cage. Uh-huh. That and titty couch, titty the couch, straight on the pillows on sofa. Where? Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over the couch. Maybe mop that up as you're over there. So I'm making all of them. I'm working here, you're just standing. No. Oh, I was stupid, sorry, never mind. Shut up. Hey, these dishes, dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come over? Where? What do I do? I checked the tub needed a cleaning. Ah, tub. What? Oh, right here. Oh, there are still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom. Yep. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience
the second time.
Where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you. And eventually cohere into something meaningful.
As difficult to clean as you are, trying to work hard, maybe you have a bit of house cleaning to do before. Ah! Don't you worry
about that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Tell me. And you can take care of it and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. Anyway. Oh. Housekeeping? Let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. Books. Thanks, at least he said thanks.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But,
you enjoy
of
this?
course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, You can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Now I miss it. He was so right. Now I miss housekeeping, house cleaning, house whatever. He was so right. The moment when they let you out, you start to realize that it was a lot better. No way. Why is it so good? Why the game is so good?
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Items you
This
love
one
at
gets a
members
bit
only
goofy.
prices. What? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. He's stuck. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being that I am right now. Who do you think about that way in your life? Who do you know who is compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It's so easy. It's
About
so...
halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
Ooh. Listen. Oh my. Oh my.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Oh my, this is so smart. This is so smart. This is so smart. Oh no, he's scared. He's scared of teaching. He's as scared as the listener is. This is the representation of fear. This is his fear. He's scared of teaching. Don't take damage for three floors. Yes. Ah! I see his thoughts. I just realized. You see? What if I'm not a good teacher? Holy shit! You guys, something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out! And you see? I can only choose. These are thoughts. These are thoughts. Yellow is what I'm saying.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
This is so good.
I think about this game a lot these days.
This is so good.
Escape room.
No, not escape room. Just a representation of...
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Stage. No, it's actually stage. Indeed. Oh, giant stage. This is that was really scary. That was just a jump scare. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We're at the gathering of professionals. First, you will start out leaning against the wall. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. If your dream to photograph animals professionally... this is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on and say something. Hello. Light jump scare, yeah. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation? What do you mean? Wise. Oh, you're so wise, happy, focused, successful. Actually converse with her, be a human being, do it again. Here are all of my hopes and dreams. That's not what I said to her at all. I'm really missing the tone of the conversation. I was reversed, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. Really, a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. Jump off the stage? I tried. I tried already. Must have worked really hard to get to where you're. Well, stop blaming me. Shut up. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Unlucky. Swing back from the stage. Ooh, this is a giant cell. Wow, I get it. Wow.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
Wow.
But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Don't turn around. I did. Mobius trip to play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed to begin the game. Captain, can we do it? Help, I'm blind. I can't say anything. What is going on? It happened to me too. Everyone is blind. The giant door is flying towards us. The giant puzzle. Hello. I forgot I'm on my stream and was thinking who
You
is
should
talking.
probably open your
It's me.
eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Blind, 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 blind. All blind. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. Huh. There's something honest. There's something honest. I'm bursting this creative energy. That's not truthful. Truthful. What do you mean? XD. It is. It was truthful. I guess the first one is... the second one is not. Is the right answer. Like, he's not confident in himself, so the second is the right answer. I can't keep making this. Yes, that's it. That's the truth.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
We're going to be okay. Oh, we are going to be okay. Oh.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Mm-hmm. 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 You look lost. And all of these answers are not hitting me. I'm not completely out of ideas. I don't feel empty when I try to create. And I have things left to give to my work. What do you mean? How do I... No. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? What is the machine that keeps me going? What does it mean? No, this is a good game. Because it encourages you to talk with yourself. For a machine, I know where it is. It isn't far.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Mm-hmm.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
development is simple and joyful and that you love it 100% of the time. All of these answers are not true. It's difficult, honestly. Huh? Ah, it feels wonderful, but it wasn't true, yeah. No, it's not easy.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Keep going. Every time I make something, I feel better about myself.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Please continue. Any sacrifices made for my work worth 100% of the time. Potentially. Pays off.
I don't know.
Keep going.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Nah, this game will make me cry right now. There's no shame, no fear, no guilt. I will be saved by my work. I believe this. Unquestioningly vessel for certainty.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
The machine. Guard. Welcome. Ma'am, glad to see you arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick, I intend to be quiet, I intend to be brutal. Very good. Just be warned that that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, no, I didn't read it in time. Someone called the press. Hello. The machine.
And of course, it's the machine.
I realize now, the machine, the creator, who was producing the work, who was making the games, he stopped. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. Oh my. Oh my. Think carefully, I know how to hurt you. Alright then, I will apologize to the people on your behalf. Well, he died. That's a guess. My friends. It falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its gains. Which one? We do not need its games. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. We will destroy everything that the machine has created. Oh my! The machine or everything the machine has created? Probably the machine, right? No. Everything that machine has created. Yes, yes. Total distraction. Koda, I will make sure your work dies here. Koda, I will make sure you are known forever. Your work dies here. Isn't that what you're scared of? Having to live without your precious creations, having to deal with
So
yourself?
now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people.
What's up
To
with
get some
that?
actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
What's up with the gun?
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback.
Yep.
So, what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
No, gun is fun, what do you mean? It's a fun gun. Look at it. Oh my.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Three dots. The machine, three dots. You see, the machine is Koda. Yeah, I know. We know that the machine is Koda, but 3 dots on the machine. You see the same 3 dots. Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it if I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011.
I am? What?
And I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
Yeah, I was feeling we're near
So
the end.
let's take a look.
Last game. June 2011. The Tower. Yeah, I was feeling like we're near the end.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Yeah. Like, leave me alone. I don't deserve you, you know?
This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Wow. Isaac reference? No. Not Isaac reference. Coda reference. Look at the walls. Oh my.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Oops.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so
It
that we
tries
can
you
move on.
It tries you to stop. It tries to stop you from playing the game. On the ground, 151. It tries to stop you from playing the game because Coda doesn't want. What? That's astonishing. Yep. What do the numbers mean? 151617. Yeah, that means something. 151617. Or it doesn't. We don't know. Unlike him?
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side.
Bruh.
So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely.
Yes.
Just saying,
yeah.
you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Because it's the game, it's not a stream.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution. but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is.
Oh.
It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of
Oh, my
trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean, and he wouldn't.
3 dots is he. He is the 3 dots. Purple lights.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
It's not your fault.
Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you to not speak to me anymore.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whenever you think I am making these games for you. Oh!
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Gosh, Cody, don't be so... What? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Oh, he added the lampposts. It wasn't Cody, he added the finishing point. Because he wanted a conclusion. Would you
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
It's not
What
your
does that
fault.
mean?
Sounded so bad. Sounds so sad. Yeah. But it's not his fault. It's just Cody's. But adding lampposts, that feels like... Yeah, that's interesting. But I don't think it's his fault, or Cody's fault, or anyone's fault. They just should to talk it out, you know? Like Discord call, evil Davey. I don't know, I don't think he's evil. He just wanted to... to help his friend. When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
It's not your fault. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you're wrestling. Where is the text? Oh, it's falling apart. And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything. Bro, what the hell? What the Sigma? Nah, it's not his fault. Oh.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue. Not over yet. Yes, hello. It's not a horror. Not a horror. Did Cody make this? Did Cody make this? Did Cody make this? Did Cody make this? Or it was the second guy, I forgot his name. Davey. Train station.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
I need to walk. Wait, I thought I just need to sit. Unlucky. I thought I will just sit down and...
Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
He made fun of that look. Depressed guy made a prison with hidden... Yeah.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Backrooms? It's more like Backrooms reference, not a Mori reference. ICP-049 pocket
If I
dimension.
knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Battle Cats reference. Oh my, wait, who made this? Cody made
What
this
now?
or Davey? Because if Cody made this, that means he's maybe not that mad at him if he made the epilogue. Who made the epilogue?
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, alright. No,
I have
we're
a lot
fine.
that I need to make up for.
Yeah, we're fine. You can go.
So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna...
Yeah, bye. So,
Okay.
oh, can you leave already? Who made the epilogue? Because I think Davey made the epilogue himself because Davey said that Cody made his last game. The last game was the tower. Yeah, it's Stanley Parable plus Superliminal plus Antichamber plus Depression plus Social Anxiety plus the game at some point it was close from making me cry, you know. I really wanted to cry at one point. Boom. What the hell? Oops. Battle Cats? Of course. Yep. Cry Isaac reference? No way. Let me out. Open ceilings as always throughout the whole game. And the back rooms, yes. Stanley Parable is cool. No. I played Stanley Parable, is really cool. And to understand this game, you should have been here from the start, and you're a bit late, idiotism. You're a bit late today. Yeah, maybe sometimes it is. Oh no, I see something. Oh no. Guys, I think this means that he wants us to die. Oh no. Yeah, I think he wants us to die. Yep. Did I die? I didn't die. Oh. I didn't die. Source I game? It is made with source. Yeah, I didn't die. Oh. Any hidden text? Any hidden text? I don't see any hidden text. Maybe there was any hidden text. I don't know. I didn't see anything really.
Turn back from this cave.
For R. Who is R? We had Cody, we had Davey. Who is R?
You said
This project would not have been possible without the following individuals. Who are they? What? Who are these people? So sad. Yeah. Turn back. Then by Halina Her. Who are those 8 people who that what? Additional things. Maybe pinches. Who are these people? What? Felix Kramer? What? Actual Kramer? Who is this all? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. If two people made the whole game, who are other people? Why there's no you? I don't know. Didn't happen, really. What do you mean? Spoilers. If you played this game and you're confused, watch this video. This is me right now. How long? How?
An hour-long conversation with this. You're doing stuff other than
Davey Vreden playing stories. Oh my god. Having watched it, I think it reveals who Koda is, or better, what Koda represents in the talk. He says a lot of things that reminiscent of things said or talked about the game. You make me feel physically ill is actually real to have been said by his friend and roommate Robin, who is speculated to be the R that the game is dedicated to. Some people took this as saying that Robin is R, so that means he is Koda. However, I think the lecture makes it clear that Koda is personified other half of Davy's struggle with him. Ah! Davy made all of the games. It was Davy, there was no Koda. It wasn't the Davy's struggle. Koda is personified other half to Davy's struggle with himself and his experience. The way David talk about himself at times is in the lecture is descriptive of Koda and his behavior of shutting himself out of the world. There are two halves of the same artist, split and forced to have a conversation with one another. One thinks they're helping by improving the games and making them playable and getting validation from others, while the other wants to shut themselves in and create, because that's just what they want to do. They want to enjoy it. Davy in the game, in this singular voice that tells Koda he needs validation from others, that Koda needs feedback and to respond to what people say, because Davy says it's important. Davy in the contract and Koda. Davy is the contract and Koda is the creator. Oh my. Another comment on here described Davy and Koda's relationship as an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. Which feels almost spot on. It's a beginner's guide because, as he mentioned in the talk, he wants new game devs to understand why they make games and reflect on it, so that they don't go through the same destructive cycle that he did. He wants players to understand for themselves that Koda's games never needed a player. They just needed to exist, and that's enough. And hopefully it will be enough for themselves as well. Additionally, I think this article written by Davey can be linked to the reason behind the beginner's guide and some of the thoughts and the themes expressed in it. Not that they are the same person. Davey was an unreliable narrator. He wanted us to think it was an odd thing Koda was adding to this game when it became clear later in this game that Davey was actually doing it so the game could be finished. Koda and Davey are the same person, yeah. 4-hour explanation scene from Evangelion. Understandable, have a nice day. Oh my. Yeah, I can, by the way. 90 minutes played. I will not. I really enjoyed the game and I will not get the money back. It costed me 6 USD. I will not take the money back.